Yo, welcome back, and we're on part 5 now, and this episode's a bit of a tedious one, but we're going to get through it. First thing we're going to do is grab Poison Mist before we leave Blight Town. And while we're here, we're just going to kill a few of these leeches because they have a decent drop rate of large Titanite shards and green Titanite shards, and when they drop green Titanite shards, it's 5 at a time, so that's good. Part of the way out of Blight Town, we're going to stop and take a little detour for Remedy over here, because we need that for the Sorceries achievement. Back at Firelink Shrine, we can talk to Laurentius and answer no to if we find Pyromancy's unsavory, and he'll give us a Pyromancy Flame for that, and that we can use Power Within for. So I actually clear out Sen's Fortress now and get the shortcut, which I really should have done after I did everything else, just because it saves time. If you're having trouble parrying, I'd recommend practicing on these man serpents with the great swords. Don't worry about attacking this man serpent here, the trap will do all the work for us, and then we can go ahead and loot the large Titanite shards. Now, this man serpent here, you want to just do a little bit of damage to wake him up. Well, you don't want to kill him, and you want him to do a thrusting attack, because that thrusting attack does like enough poise damage or something weird to break the wall instead of using the boulder. After that, we can just quickly finish him off. Master Key allows us to open these two cages here in Sen's Fortress. If you hold up your shield here, you can just let the man serpent get hit by the boulders flowing down and then just finish him off when you're ready. Instead of going up to the left, we want to go down to the right and have a little conversation with Siegmeyer. This is just to progress his story and so he's in Enolondo. Just gonna grab this ring and shuttle here because, just whatever, why not? Going forward, we can run over this trap and go all the way and just quickly dodge at the end. Use our undefeatable PvP strategies against this man serpent. Just wait a minute at the bottom of these stairs and the boulders will fill up the hole and break the wall so we can get the covetous gold serpent ring, which is really good for farming. Coming up is a mimic here, and we can open its mouth by throwing a Lloyd's Talisman, and every time we do this, it gives us an extra chance of the Symbol of Avarice drop. Just do a little bit of damage to wake him up, and then throw another Lloyd's Talisman at him again, and there you go, you just do that to farm him. I didn't get the Symbol of Avarice here, but I've only got 2 talismans left, so I'm not going to bother right now. You want to get off of this elevator as soon as you can because it'll stop briefly and then keep going up and stab you with some spikes, and that's not good. Because we already broke the wall, we want to just point this outwards, and that progresses Siegmeyer's quest line so he can go to Enolondo. Run through all of these pendulum axe things all at once, clear out these man serpents here with some parries and ripostes, and get out large Titanite shards. This has got to be the scariest bridge when you first come into Sen's Fortress and you get up to here, because you don't want to get hit by that guy's lightning and fall off. But if you just run across like he's not even there, then you'll probably just get across, to be honest. Just stop in between the 2 sets of axes and you're good. You can drop down here for a nice little secret bonfire, very helpful. Like the caster man serpents, you really don't need to worry about this giant throwing boulders. He does it so slowly and it's very unlikely to get hit unless you are trying to get hit, so just keep running through and you're all goods. We're going to kill him regardless because he gives a Titanite chunk and that makes our weapon better. If you wait down the stairs there, you can wait for him to do his flurry attack and then he'll go down into this resting position and you get some free hits off of him, and then just run back down the stairs and wait till he does it again, and that's easy mode. Jumping across here and going down this very tall tower, we can get the cage key here, and this opens the one cage that the master key doesn't, which is the shortcut one. While we're here, I'm just going to go and get the rest of the items in Sen's Fortress. So kill Ricard here and then get the 2 chests behind him. Not very important chests, but yeah, might use it one time. Here we have our shortcut. Make sure to walk inside briefly to activate them. Coming up on the one item we actually need in Sen's Fortress, Hush, for our Sorceries achievement. Here's the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. That makes it so our footsteps create no noise, helpful for sneaking around. As you can see, we are no longer in Sin's Fortress. Instead, I'm going down to the Catacombs, and this is because of one item really, and that is the Dark Moon Seance Ring, and that allows us to fight Gwendolyn without killing Guinevere. Fortunately, I got a Skull Lantern from the first Necromancer there. We can trade that in for the Ring of Fog, which I'll be doing later, but if you kill all of the Necromancers, I think there are about 5 or 6 in the Catacombs, then you're guaranteed to get one. Just below Patches, here's a bonfire here. I don't recommend sitting at any bonfires in the Catacombs or even the Tomb of the Giants until you have the Lord Vessel to warp. Trust me, you don't want to be stuck down here. But while we're down here, we can knock a few more birds out with our stone and go discover the Grave Lord servants. But to do that, we need Eyes of Death. Fortunately, there are some right there, and we need those to actually get teleported once we enter this coffin right here. But just do a quick save and quit to reset the aggro of that Titanite demon. And after a few seconds, kind of a little while, we'll get transported over here to Nito's boss fight, and we can join the Gravelord servants from here. From there, I'd just go back to Firelink Shrine, as it's easier to kind of go back down from the top of the catacombs instead of trying to go back up. So there's actually 2 things I still need in here, and that's the Dark Moon Seance Ring and the Tranquil Walk of Peace Miracle, but I completely forgot that Twop was down here. Before I finish Sin's Fortress, we're going to come down to New Londo Ruins to grab the Very Large Ember to ascend our weapons to plus 11. However, to get the Very Large Ember, we need to drain the water, and we can only get the key to drain the water by killing Ingrid at the moment because we do not have the Lord Vessel. So the easy way to do that, instead of going through the funhouse, is if you have a bow and arrow, very helpful, you can just shoot him up there, and he'll just start running into the fence, and you can just kill him. Going through this funhouse is a complete mess, no strategy, just get lucky, get good, and it should work every time, you know what I'm saying? You need 5k souls here for the Resist Curse sorcery, that's why we couldn't kill Ingrid right there, but doing that now means we don't have to do it in New Game Plus or beyond, so worth. But yeah, now since we have our sorcery, we can just go ahead and kill him. He's useless to us now. I'm saving and quitting here just to reset the ghosts, makes it a bit easier. Watch out when you pick up that item there, you can get swiped at by the ghost pretty quickly sometimes. Now that we've drained New Londo Ruins, we can bone out. Doing this is just a bit safer than going from where that lever is. So after running across the bridges towards New Londo Ruins, we can just go to the right here instead of going up the stairs, and we can drop down here, which we wouldn't have been able to do before because it was filled with water. Now, picking up this soul here, or just getting close to it, will aggro this Dark Wraith, and they are pretty hard to kill, but, you know, if you can get the parries on them, then you're set. I'm just going through and getting some Titanite chunks because that is the reason we're down here, to upgrade our weapon further. So once you drop down from that first place I dropped down, you can either go to the left or right. I just briefly went to the right, but we don't want to go there yet. We want to go to the left. We don't want to go through the fog gate. Instead, we want to run past the slime thing that spawns the wisps and go up some spiral stairs and just follow the path from there, and you'll eventually get to the Very Large Ember. We are now set to finish off Sin's Fortress. We're going to give Andre the Very Large Ember, ascend our weapon to plus 11, and make it plus 14. Using the shortcut, we can get to the boss fight pretty quickly, and once we do go in, we just want to run to the left, and this is kind of a safe spot from his first attack. Don't forget to use your power within if you have it. You want to run to the far end of this little bridge platform area and fight him there. That way, once you kind of stagger him, he should fall off the edge, but yeah, why not? Sure. He can float up there if he wants, I guess. Killing the Iron Golem here concludes part 5. Next time, we'll be going to Anor Londo, killing Gwendolyn, getting our Sunlight Blade, and maybe Ornstein and Smo.